In July of 2023, Romania had finished building its largest suspension bridge, a behemoth engineering feat that came in at a cost of more than 500 million euros, the country's largest infrastructure investment in 30 years. A technological marvel that would bring more than 11,000 commuters a day across the Danube River in just 2 minutes, instead of the 45 it takes by ferry. This was to be Romania's own Golden Gate Bridge. Like the United States Golden Gate in San Francisco, this bridge is suspended over water, stretching more than a mile. But Romania's bridge turned out to be less like the Golden Gate and more of a floodgate of ongoing construction problems. So what went wrong? Bridges are complex structures to build and maintain. They can fail for all sorts of reasons. From mistakes in design and construction to overload, and impact from natural disasters. Other bridges seem to be doomed from their very construction. Romania's Brăila Bridge, on the other hand, was meticulously constructed over 36 months, following a 12-month-long design phase. More than 250 workers and technicians were involved in its installation alone. 2 lanes of bidirectional traffic, connecting 2 cities from opposite banks of the Danube River, Brăila and Tulcea, were held up by steel cables weighing nearly 7,000 tons, woven from enough steel wire to encircle the globe twice. Its completion in the summer of 2023 was met with speeches by politicians and festive honks from drivers. The project had become a symbol of Romanian engineering excellence, but celebration turned to scrutiny fast. Just 1 month after opening, the bridge was already not all it was cracked up to be. Social media posts revealed bumps forming on the asphalt, along with other signs of deformation. This type of subsidence can be attributed to overload. Authorities chalked it up to truck drivers disregarding the tonnage limits of the bridge. But the problems seemed more deeply rooted. Cracks appeared along the length of the bridge, some so deep you could put your hand in and literally touch the deck of the bridge. The deck is what forms the surface of the bridge, where vehicles and pedestrians travel, usually made of concrete and covered with asphalt. Any flaws on the deck can significantly affect the durability and functionality of the bridge. A suspension bridge uses tension and compression. The deck is supported by vertical suspender cables, attached to main cables draped over the towers, and anchored on either side with concrete. Tension created from these anchors bears most of the load, while downward compression on the towers, caused by the weight of the main cables, bears the rest. Every nut and bolt plays a role in the construction of a suspension bridge. Some of the nuts and bolts on this bridge weren't quite right. 2 months after the Brăila Bridge opened, another social media post invited more scrutiny. The video sparked an immediate inspection of all 100,000 bolts on the bridge. Engineers discovered 400 weren't properly tightened, or tightened at all. The deformation issues were addressed a year later. In October of 2024, the entire bridge was resurfaced with an asphalt mix suitable for heavier loads, in hopes of avoiding future problems. But one major issue continued to impact the bridge. In a place social media couldn't get to, but out of sight doesn't always mean out of mind. Engineers are hard at work trying to stop water from seeping into the lining around the bridge's anchor blocks, an ongoing problem since the bridge's completion. Anchors keep the cable system taut. If moisture continues to build around them, the cables can lose resistance, dragging the towers inward under their weight. making the entire bridge collapse in on itself. For now, engineers have begun sealing the joints and re-asphalting again, while part of the bridge remains open. But the long-term solution involves building an airtight casing around the anchors and installing pumps to remove excess water when necessary. The Brăila Bridge is already starting to sink. Hopefully these plans are put into action quickly, before Romania's largest and most expensive suspension bridge breaks another record for all the wrong reasons. Situated in the northern part of Serbia, with the Republic of Croatia to the west, Hungary to the north, and Romania to the east. Novi Sad is an important transit hub by water and land. Novi Sad station was a major stop along the high-speed railway connecting Belgrade, Serbia, to Budapest, Hungary, until November 1st of 2024, when a massive concrete canopy came crashing down, killing 16 people. So what went wrong? The identity of Serbia's Novi Sad station included a modernist sawtooth roof design on the exterior and an interior clad with 17 types of stone from different parts of the former Yugoslavia, a nod to its past. The cantilever beam canopy that fell was another unique feature of the building. Cantilevers are structures that are only supported on one side. They can include balconies, bridges, and buildings. Some of these structures appear to defy gravity. So how do they stay up? It all comes down to what structural engineers call the moment. The moment is the amount of stress on a joint, caused by weight along the length of the joint. Think of your arm holding a 10-pound weight. The moment is the force within the elbow. The more your arm is outstretched, the more force on the moment. The moment must be calculated correctly, or the entire thing can collapse in a moment. The cantilever must be able to transfer the load applied on it to the fixed end. To accomplish this, the cantilever bends like a diving board. Novi Sad's much shorter cantilever beams holding up its canopy had a much lower moment, and the additional support of the cables that ran from the roof of the building to the canopy. So why didn't it stay up? The train station reopened in July 2024 after undergoing 3 years' worth of renovation. Less than a year after reopening, the canopy came crashing down. The Serbian government insisted the canopy was untouched during renovations, but a consultant involved in the reconstruction suggested otherwise. They alleged that metal rails and heavy glass were added, increasing the weight of the canopy by at least a third. The former consultant also claimed to witness areas missing concrete and corrosion around the anchor supporting the canopy. According to him, requests for additional inspection and repairs were submitted to government officials in early 2023, but the demands were ignored. Could it have been a case of wear and tear gone unaddressed? The lifespan of this type of structural element is about 50 years. If there was additional weight added, could that have triggered the collapse? The massive construction fail remains under investigation, muddied by allegations from the public of secrecy and corruption between Serbia's government and its foreign investment practices and regulatory failures. For months after the collapse, angry citizens flooded the streets in protest. Many protesters alleged that large infrastructure projects lined the pockets of contractors. Anger was directed at the Chinese consortium that carried out Novi Sad's reconstruction, claiming it put public safety at risk. Legal proceedings will likely take several years, but prosecutors have already charged 13 people over the Novi Sad case. The Prime Minister and 2 more government ministers have resigned. and the government has announced an anti-corruption campaign.